The Empire and Federation continue to build new capital-class warships, whilst the Alliance starts to poke the Thargoid-Nest with a rather large pointy stick. It looks like the future for the people of the elite galaxy is heating up to be a lot of trouble. Frontier have been pushing the story for Elite Dangerous forward in recent months, with the intent for it to connect into the release of Odyssey and the new content that will bring. It also seems as though the story might just bring some changes to the power balance of the galaxy itself. So with that in mind, today I'm going to take a look at some of that story, as well as offer up some thoughts on just where things may be heading. The London Treaty then was an agreement signed on Earth in 3278. It was designed to prevent an arms race between the Empire, Federation and Alliance, restricting the number of capital-class warships each superpower could produce, although as yet we haven't seen a single Alliance-based capital-class warship in the game. Anyway, in 3302, just 4 years ago, the Empire broke the treaty by declaring that they would construct as many capital-class warships as they felt necessary in order to protect their space. Last week, both the Federation and the Empire set in motion a community goal requesting the delivery of materials for the use of constructing more capital-class warships. Clearly, they are concerned about the prospects of future conflict. We already know these two superpowers are at odds with each other, so what the future brings should be interesting at the very least. Now, for those of you who haven't seen these massive warships before, the Federation's Thargoid battlecruiser is an immense vessel that can be found in dry docks around the galaxy. A few of them also patrol various areas of space. This ship is over 2 kilometers long and is a central pillar to any major conflicts. Meanwhile, the Empire have their Majestic class interdictor. This is slightly under 2 kilometers long and can also be found in various Imperial dry docks. Both ships can actually also be seen in combat from time to time in the game, and this is in fact possible to get them to spawn in conflict zone missions. Now, I've speculated before that it feels as though things are pointing towards a full-scale war between the Federation and Empire. In fact, at this point it seems inevitable. The only thing I suspect might prevent it would be a full-scale attack from the Thargoids. So the way I see things going in the future in regards to in-game events is that the Thargoids will turn up and the Federation and Empire will unite against them, or just perhaps the war will be a massive calamity, with the Empire, Federation, Alliance and Thargoids in a all versus all war. As for how this all ties in with Odyssey, we know the update will have a sphere of combat, which will basically be combined arms. We also know that Frontline Solutions, that have been briefly shown in dev diaries, is a service to access conflicts. So it seems to me at least that all of these events are leading to a galaxy at war with itself in order to provide a metric ton of battlegrounds for players to engage with Odyssey. Meanwhile, this week's community goal sees the Alliance stirring up even more trouble with the Thargoids. Recently, the Alliance expanded into the Coalsack Nebula with the construction of various space stations. We know from the past that Thargoids consider Nebula to be their own territory. And now the Alliance are seeking to terraform ammonia worlds, and these planets we know Thargoids live on, so many of them are likely to be Thargoid homeworlds. The latest community goal is an exploration-focused one. It requests players to seek out exploration data with an emphasis on locating ammonia-based worlds. The more ammonia-based worlds discovered, the greater the reward will be for completing the community goal. The reward is an increase in exploration data payouts for everyone for a fixed period. And this will break down in the following ways. If the community goal reaches Tier 1, there will be no changes to exploration payouts. If the community goal reaches Tier 2, there will be a 1 week period where exploration data is paid out at double the standard. Tier 3 will be a 1 week period where the payout is made at 3 times the standard. Tier 4 will be a 2 week period with 3 times payout, and Tier 5 will be a 2 week period with a 4 week increase in exploration payout for that period. Additionally, the top 75% of players in the community goal will receive a fully engineered detailed surface scanner. So, could this be another element of the game that leads into Odyssey? Well, for me, pure speculation, but FPS combat with Thargoids feels like a given at this point, and this would fit in very nicely with what Odyssey is all about and the mentioned ground combat. Terraforming ammonia worlds, meanwhile, I would also speculate leads to a couple of possibilities. Firstly, that ammonia worlds could perhaps be terraformed into tenuous atmospheres, which we know will be a thing in Odyssey. Alternatively, it could be that Frontier have additional planet types planned for Odyssey but haven't yet announced them. A heavy dose of speculation there, of course. All of this may actually mean nothing, but the community goals have been pretty good lately, and Frontier have said multiple times that they are planned on tying in to, or the story at least, is planned on tying into Odyssey, so I guess we'll have to see how it goes. At any rate, that brings us to an end of this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.